You walk into the office and the silence hits first, not the good kind, the hollow, humming kind. Your laptop wakes up without you, a calendar fills itself, a voice summarizes last week's meetings before you open your mouth. You scroll through messages and realize the notices started while you slept. Today is different. Today the system took the first step. You feel dizzy. Your hands find the badge, the mug, the photo on the desk. You pinch the bridge of your nose. This is not a nightmare you can wake up from. Only a memo, an automated email, a severance link. You are in the very moment your job became optional. You have 1 hour before the HR bot wants you on a call. You have one breath to decide whether to panic or to act. You act, you stand, you leave your card on the desk like an offering. You step into the hallway. You are not ready, but the world is moving faster than readiness. Level 2, numbers don't ask how you feel, they just land. The spreadsheet of income, the mortgage, the student loans, the subscription you forgot to cancel. You open the bank app, the cushion is thin, the safety net looks like Swiss cheese. Your industry slides into a chart that stops at automated. You watch job listings change tone. Human oversight preferred becomes human advisory optional. Every headline is a countdown. You think of rent, of groceries, of the kids' soccer cleats. Fear sharpens, but so does clarity. When the future costs something, it reveals priorities. You write down the unavoidable: rent, food, insurance. You write down the flexible: lunches out, streaming bundles. Cut floors become lifelines. You call your partner. You speak without theatrics. You say, "We need a plan." They say, "We have always been good at plans." You breathe. Numbers are terrifying because they are finite, so you make them manageable. Level 3, now the harder ledger opens. Identity. Your job's not just a paycheck, it is a name tag stitched into your skin. Who are you when the machine does the task you learned for a decade? You catch yourself drafting a resignation letter in your head. You realize grief comes in layers. The first is for tasks, the second is for status, the third is for meaning. You remember the nights you stayed late because you believed you mattered. You remember the praise, the promotions, the camaraderie. You feel small and strangely raw. You let yourself mourn. You tell one person the truth: "I don't know who I am without this." The reply is not a magic spell, it is a steady hand. You have always been more than that role. You doubt it, but doubt and hope can coexist. You begin to list what else you are: parent, runner, problem solver, weekend coder, mentor. You map transferable skills: creativity, empathy, decision making under pressure, pattern recognition. You realize the machine did the patterns, it didn't feel the weight. Level 4, you pivot, not because you must reinvent overnight, because adaptation is a sequence of small bets. You pick 3 things you can learn in 6 weeks. 1 practical, a tool the new systems use. 1 strategic, how to manage AI-driven teams. 1 personal, storytelling, sales, or negotiation. You enroll in a course, you join a community, you schedule 2 hours a day that are sacred. No doom scrolling, no listless interviews. Focused, deliberate work. You create micro wins, a completed module, a new connection on LinkedIn who answers back, a small freelance gig. Each win stitches you back together. You experiment with hybrid value. Your pitch becomes, "I know the system. I can make it work for you." You stop competing with the machine at its best. You compete with humans at human things. You bring judgment, context, ethics. You ask employers a sharper question: how do you rely on the AI, and who helps it understand people? Sometimes the answer is money. Sometimes it's ignorance. Both are opportunities. Level 5, you put your network to work. This is not begging. This is mobilizing trust. You call the people who saw you when you were raw. You offer value first. You send one clear ask: coffee, referral, a 20-minute brainstorm. You join a cohort, a startup weekend, a hackathon. You meet people who are building the tools that displaced you. They are not villains. They are hungry. They need context. They need ethics. They need domain expertise you own. You negotiate not for a job, but for a role that leverages both machine and human. You consult, you freelance, you teach. You're not just selling labor, you're selling experience that can't be scraped. You build optionality. Multiple small income streams mean no single failure collapses you. You learn to sell what machines can't: stories, relationships, trust. You learn to price for outcomes, not hours. You get comfortable being uncomfortable. Level 6, mental endurance matters. This is a marathon with sprint bursts. You design your day around energy, not ego. You sleep, you exercise, you structure breaks like meetings with yourself. You set boundaries with the news and the feeds that feed panic. You journal 3 things: what you did, what you learned, what tomorrow's small win is. You practice narrative narratives that keep you moving. Not I'm obsolete, but I'm retooling. You find mentors who are 2 steps ahead. You become a mentor for those 2 steps behind. Teaching clarifies thinking. You adapt your CV into a story of impact. You replace responsibilities with results. Numbers that humans care about. Revenue saved, time reclaimed, customers retained. You prepare for interviews differently. You simulate the new questions. How would you manage an AI team? How do you make AI explainable to stakeholders? You answer with examples, not platitudes. Level 7 opportunity is asymmetric. Where machines remove friction, new spaces appear. You see niches, compliance, human-centered design, ethics audits, stakeholder communication, and business translation. You start small, 1 client, 1 product, 1 workshop. You prototype solutions that bridge people and automation. You double down on clarity and trust. A human who can translate tech to people becomes a scarce resource. You become that resource. You charge for clarity. You write 1 clear offer. I make your AI explain itself to humans. A simple, bold sentence. It opens doors. People who can't explain their machines will pay to look comprehensible. You make a living out of translation, not romantic, pragmatic. Your calendar begins to fill again. Level 8. You have rebuilt around resilience. Your monthly burn is lower. Your skills are broader. Your network is active. You have streams where 1 client failure doesn't topple you. You have a narrative for interviews and investors. You don't fear automation. You partner with it. You sleep on the new you. You wake up curious. Curiosity replaces anger. That doesn't erase grief. It gives it a place to live. You still tell the story of the day the lights went quiet. You tell it as a turning point, not an end. You start helping others through the same shift. That work gives you a new kind of meaning. Final scene, the camera pulls back. You are not the only one. Millions of desks emptied, millions of futures rerouted, some panicked, some paralyzed, others repackaged their value. It wasn't luck. It was a series of small decisions to map your skills, to guard your finances, to invest time in relearning, to socialize your value. You are still standing. You are different. You are more than your old job. You are finally practicing the singular human advantage to adapt, to care, to lead the tools you built. You log on to a call, not as a replaceable node, but as a guide. You speak clearly. You charge fairly. You keep a notebook of tomorrow's small wins. You know the machine is relentless. So are you. Roll credits with an afterword. Stay curious, stay resilient, and always trade panic for plan.